Hey, good afternoon, everyone. How you doing? Welcome to Yoga with Dave. It's class number 81. And if you're here live, then welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're doing this on catch up, then isn't that an amazing, resource to have? All of these things available on the Virtual Village Hall Facebook page. It's really nice to be able to kind of like dip in and dip out of content when you need it, when you need a little bit of love and a little bit of nourishment. Whether it be yoga or one of the amazing cooking classes or, Pilates or laughing yoga, any of the exercise classes that are on here. There's so much varied content. So thank you so much to the Royal Voluntary Service, Virtual Village Hall, for continuing to put on this amazing content, which I guess this is part of this amazing content. It's Yoga with Dave. So welcome to Irene. Nice to see you, Irene. What was I going to talk about today? Just at the start, I like to have a little chat. Yoga is not just about, moving the body and pulling shapes and doing all this sort of stuff. There's kind of like philosophy, mindfulness, meditation. There's all of these different practices that are kind of threaded into yoga. This beautiful ancient wisdom that's there, and it's all there for us. The yogis going back thousands and thousands of years spoke so eloquently about so much stuff. And I think, when we bring Western yoga in, the yoga that we know and a lot of us practice here in the UK and, in the West, it can sometimes get a little bit watered down. And that's okay. If you do think, I want to do yoga, I just want to stretch my body, I feel a bit tight, my hips and my back, then yoga is amazing for that. But it goes kind of beyond that physical exercise, because some people say to me, I don't buy into the philosophy side. I don't buy into the spiritual side, Dave. And I would say you probably do. Otherwise, you'd end up in a gym, wouldn't you? If you just want to move your body, you end up in a gym. So yoga has something where, for me, when I first sat and did a yoga class, number one, I was in a lot of pain. I was like, whoa, my body doesn't move this way. But number two, I did feel this really deep connection with myself. I was like, whoa, I'm here. So we think about yoga in its very basic form as yoga is paying attention. It's coming back to your center, coming back to yourself. So we miss ourselves sometimes, don't we? How do we miss ourselves? Well, we get up in the morning, we go on autopilot, probably spend way too much time working or on our devices or distracting ourselves. And then we go to bed and then we're like, oh, yeah, that happened. And then the next day, and that probably happens as well. So what yoga does, it kind of brings us back to our center and we begin to pay attention. What to? Well, the physical body and the breath. And within the physical body and the breath is so much wisdom. And it teaches us a lot, doesn't it? For me, I carry a lot of tension in my hips. Well, yeah, I kind of understand why now. Not stuff that I'll go into here, but, my back, it's a bit tight. My hamstrings are tight. I've been a runner for 20 odd years. I've tightened my body up in certain ways. I probably haven't lived, a yogic lifestyle all my life. So it brings all this wisdom in again, and we can start to pay attention. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It can be so gentle. And we're just learning to honor ourselves and appreciate ourselves, You see all the yoga on Instagram and on Facebook and, someone in a crazy inversion or, and on a headstand on a cliff or on a beach. They're the classic ones you see, don't you? It's all good, whatever you want, whatever's your thing. It's probably not real, though, for most of us, is it? I don't get on a beach and think I'm going to do a headstand. Probably fall out, hurt myself. So this is the real stuff, the day-to-day. And there's two Sanskrit words. One of them's abhyasa. Abhyasa just means regular, steady practice. Abhyasa, regular, steady practice, showing up in whatever form of your life, whether that be yoga, this physical practice where we sit, or whether it be showing up for other people. Regular, steady, no bells and whistles. I'm just there. I'm Mr. Consistent. I'm doing this stuff because it makes me feel good, So there's that stuff. Abhyasa, regular, steady practice. The other word is vairagya. Vairagya, release the outcome. We're not trying to get anywhere. We're just practicing. That's what we're doing. It's called a yoga practice. We're not experts. Vairagya, release the outcome. Release it. Don't think that it's got to look a certain way, got to feel a certain way. Do not feel defeated by the physical asana practice of yoga, you know, the physical postures which we go into. Do not think, oh, I wish I could just do this. You know, release the outcome. Be happy within yourself. Find your center. Find your wholeness. Know that you're enough. So that's yoga, not just this, you know, when we get into postures, this kind of thing. It's everything. It encompasses everything. It encompasses you. And it's worth spending a bit of time on yourself. You know, it's worth you getting on your mat and just paying a little bit of attention and letting all the other nonsense go about what it looks like. It doesn't matter. You just be curious. We go on a little journey. We're like little explorers. Oof, wonder what's going on there. I can pay attention to that. There's always something that we can start paying attention to. I've got loads of things I'm trying to pay attention to all the time. And what yoga does is when I'm not practicing the physical form of yoga, I feel a bit off balance. So I need to come back to it. So I know in 2 or 3 days, you've not done any yoga days, sort your life out. Do some yoga. I get to spend time with some beautiful people doing yoga. Normal people. What's a normal person? Well, you know, we're Space to Breathe here in Leicester. It's like, you know, there's all sorts of people come to this yoga space, young, old, different body shapes, different ethnic backgrounds. It's everyone. And our shared goal is to be human, learning to be human, and yoga can really help us. Oh, I'm laughing a little bit because I could talk like this for ages, and you're probably thinking, mate, can you get on and do some yoga? Well, this is yoga. All this stuff that I'm talking about is all yoga. Take a drink, good people, if you need to. We're going to start moving in a minute. Hi to Alan. Hi to Margaret. I'm glad that you're here for this live class. Let's sit here for a little bit. I'm sat on a bolster. I don't need to show you that, do I? So I'm on a bolster. I've raised my hips. I'm going to have a little wriggle around here. So if you're sat, you can sit up against the wall for this bit. Sit in a chair. Feel free. I've got a little blanket underneath my feet. I'm finding maximum comfort, everyone. Draw a little bit of length into your spine, so don't sit like this. Try and sit like this. Relax your shoulder blades down your back. Relax your face. A little smile can help. Sometimes it doesn't. Maybe draw your attention inwards. So if it feels safe, close your eyes or just draw your gaze down towards your feet. Maybe scratch your nose. Notice what you brought onto your mat. So the palms face up or the palms are face down. And we just begin to pay attention. How does your physical body feel? Maybe scan your body from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head. Being curious. And then when you get to the crown of your head, go all the way back down to the tips of your toes. And just do that a couple more times. Scanning the body. Breathing into any areas that feel like you need to nourish them. And then as you scan the body, just begin to pay a little bit of attention to the breath. Notice how your breath feels. Be curious again about your breath. Notice what your body needs. Notice how your breath feels. Does it feel long and smooth, or is it a little bit short and choppy? Beautiful, nice. And then from here, you can just begin to make some nice circles with your head. Think about your tip of your nose, and then just draw your nose up. Draw your head back down. Notice any areas of tension within the body. And when you're ready, come back the other way. Always paying attention. Always being curious about how your physical body feels. And then eventually just come in with your head all the way back to center. And then if you had your eyes closed, just slowly open your eyes. Yeah. Beautiful work, everyone. Really, really nice. And then I'm going to move back onto my mat. So if you're already on your mat, then feel free just to begin to move your body a little bit. Let me just do a couple of things. That looks all right, doesn't it? Nice. Move this blanket out of the way. Move this bolster out of the way. Nice. And then I've got a little block here, but I'm going to remove that. I don't want that here right now. Welcome to the Space Read Collective. Not-for-profit yoga studio in the centre of Leicester. Oh, it's a great place to practice yoga. And there's kind of like a calmness within this space, even though there's a big pub there and there's a big pub there. Lots of restaurants down here, lots of stuff going on. All right, from here, take an inhale, sweep your arms up into the air. And then as you exhale, just bring your hands to heart center. Just do that a couple more times. Inhaling up, maybe looking up towards your palms. As you exhale, framing your hands to heart center. And then one more time, inhaling up. And exhaling, come all the way back down. Nice. Then from here, inhale the arms up. Then just do a little quarter turn to your right. Bring your left hand on your right knee. Bring your right hand behind. Press into your fingertips. So inhale, find a little bit of length. And then exhale, twist into your body. So you're never quite static. Inhale and find a length. Exhale into your twist. And just do that a few more times. I'm going to move my mat forward a little bit. I think I can afford to be a bit closer to you. Nice. Inhaling, finding length. Exhaling into your twist. We've worked into the neck, so if you want to just move your neck down your right shoulder, feel free. You're finding length in your spine, you're giving yourself loads of room to breathe into. One more deep inhale. And then a full exhale, come back to center. Then just simply, just swap it out. Little quarter turn, right hand comes onto the left knee, left hand behind. Inhale, find length, exhale, twist it. Inhale, find length, exhale, twist. Couple more like that. Deep, rich inhale. Full release and exhale. And then here's your final round. Deep inhale. And a full exhale. Nice. Inhale, come all the way back to center. Walk your hands forward. And then just come into a seated forward fold. So you might want to do this. You don't need to come down low. There's no point. You may just rock from side to side. Spread out through your fingers so you feel your pelvis is beginning to tilt forwards. Let your head be nice and loose. Or maybe just keep your head up, keep the heart center lifted. A little bit of movement from side to side. We're not doing anything too fancy here. Walk the hands over to the right. A couple of breaths here. Walk the hands to center. A couple of breaths on this side. Nice. Deep inhales. Full releasing exhales. Nice. Hands back all the way to center. Press into your hands. Come all the way back up. Beautiful. Bring your hands behind this time. Bring your feet out nice and wide. Drop your knees down to either side. Just a little bit of movement through the hips. Nice work, everyone. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then we'll come onto all fours. When you're ready, spread out through your fingertips. Stack your knees right underneath your hips. So you're here in this tabletop position. So think about your spine straight away. You know, you've got this natural bow in your lower spine. You see my natural bow in my lower spine. Maybe I press into my hand and then I can just find that little rounding. It's tiny, you know. And then I let the belly go and I feel this natural curve. Then I press into the hands, maybe suck the belly in towards my navel and find this little rounding in the lower spine. So just move like that a couple of times. It's a really subtle movement. Kind of like spreading the shoulder blades, activating through the shoulder blades. Then you're exhaling and you're letting everything fall down towards the floor. A couple more like that. Inhaling, exhaling. It's kind of like a little tiny cat and cow. Be curious about how your body moves, even in this really subtle way. Nice. And then come all the way back to center. And then just move for a few rounds of cat and cow. So take an inhale, drop your belly down, lift your head and your heart. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale forward. Exhale round. Inhale forward. Exhale, round your spine. 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Here's your final one. Nice deep rich inhale. Full release and exhale. Nice. Come all the way back to center. Split your knees nice and wide. Bring your knees onto your heels. Stretch your arms forward and then just come into a child pose. So remember with this one, if you find that everything lifts a little bit, just place your head on your hands or on your forearms, or you can make fists and stack the fists. I guess the main thing here is just breathe deeply. Press your sit bones back towards your heels. Find this length in the spine through the hips. Take a couple more complete rounds of breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, press into your hands. Come all the way back. And then stack your knees right underneath your hips. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips. Come into your first downward facing dog. So maybe do what I do. Put a nice generous bend in your knees. Find some length in your spine. And your head just falls down, just like mine, in between. Where the gaze is in between your feet, and the head just drops all the way down. No tension in the neck. Nice. Maybe then you begin to lengthen your legs a little bit, press your heels down towards the floor. You don't have to. I'm certainly staying with my knees bent, because what I'm trying to do here is find length in my spine. That's a super highway for energy, and I'm just trying to find this physicality with my first downward facing dog. Nice, beautiful. From here, drop your knees back down onto your mat. Nice work. Bring your knees nice and wide, and then just walk your hands all the way over to the right hand side. Just a little twist in, hands to center. Walk your hands over to the left. Now it's not too much that's going on here. Just walking your hands around, coming back to center. Walk your hands back, and then final time all the way back to center. Beautiful, really nice. Come back into a downward facing dog, but this time we won't stay here. We'll just begin to walk our hands back towards our feet, and then have your feet about hip width apart. Maybe bring your hand onto your knees like I have. Keep a nice generous bend for the knees, or they can be on the thighs. See if you can eliminate the gap between your chest and then your thighs. And then when you're ready, press into your feet, with the hands just dangling, just roll all the way up. Come to stand. Really nice work, everyone. And here we are in this standing position. Nice. So come to the top of your mats. So you're just going to stand here, line your feet up with the long edges of your mat. I'm just going to open a couple of lines. Bring a little bit of light into this practice. So your feet are hip width apart right now. Nice. It's a bit better. So here we are in Tadasana. Bring your hands to the heart center. Beautiful. Really nice. When you're ready, take an inhale, sweep your arms up. As you exhale, forward fold. So swallow dive down. See how wide my arms go? And then I'm just folding at the hips, folding at the waist. When you're ready, inhale, sweep your arms up, come to stand. And then exhale, frame your hands at heart center. We'll do that 2 more times, just working with the breath. Inhaling up. Exhaling, forward fold, bending the knees to protect the spine. Nice. Inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Here's the final one, working with the breath. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Beautiful. Inhale, come all the way back up. And then exhale, frame your hands to heart center. And then I'd like you to just, well, I invite you to just walk your feet back to the middle of your mat. You'll just stay with your focus just square on the top edge of your mat. I'm going to turn to the side because I want to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do tree pose. So remember with tree pose, you've got a few options. You can have your foot here, you can have your foot here, you can have your foot right up here. So your choice, ear, ear, or ear. All right, so I'll leave it up to you what you want to do. But remember with balances, which can be tricky, and you're probably going, oh, I don't want to balance. Remember, balances are like super important. You just look down at one spot on the floor, probably. I just stare down. All right. So I'm going to go a little bit advanced for me. You know, usually I'm here, but I'm going to attempt to bring my right foot inside my thigh. So left foot is going to stay planted. We're going to lift up through the right leg. So but let's do it this way. Hands on the hips, lift up through the right knee. So you might want to stay here. This is good. You know, you can really challenge your balance here. You can always hook the knee in. This is also nice. Relax the shoulders wherever you are. And then you can always place the foot here you can place it on your calf, not the knee, or right up here. And then this one's a little bit more challenging. And then just focus on one spot. Breathe really deeply, open your hip out. And just keep it nice and simple. We won't be here for long. Nice. And then when you're ready, you can release. And we'll release this way. Keep the knee lifted. And then give the leg a little shake out. And then just come back to center. Nice. And then we'll just do the other side. So just recalibrate, rebalance the body. So this time, you're going to be here, you're going to be here, you're going to be here. But first of all, find your focus. This is called a dristi. This is our focus point. And then you can lift up through the left knee. So maybe the hands are on the hips. Just building strength into the hip flexors, into the hips themselves. Maybe just basket grip around the knee. Relax the shoulders as you do that. Breathe in deeply. Beautiful. And then wherever it feels good, place the foot, ankle, calf, up here in the thigh. Hands at heart center. Balance on one leg. Breathe deeply. Remember, these are the sort of things you can do when practicing, when brushing your teeth in the shower. Nice. One more breath. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Beautiful. Lift up through the left knee. Give it a little shake. And then come all the way back down. Nice. And then just shake both the legs out. And then we'll do a nice informal move. You place the right hand on the heart. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale left. Exhale right. Just moving from side to side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And feel free, you might want to move a little bit more powerfully with the breath. Inhaling left, exhaling right, and just swinging the body open. Yeah, it's more of an informal yoga pose. This is more about energy within the body. Inhale left, exhale right. Enjoy it. Don't worry about what it looks like. Remember what I was saying at the start of the class. It is not important. Nice. And then just a couple more times either side. And then eventually just bring the hands down, just let them swing from side to side until you find a center point. Bring your hands so the palms are face forward. Take a really big, deep inhale. Full exhale, sigh out through the mouth. One more like that, deep inhale. Full exhale. Let's do one more. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Beautiful. Nice. And then from here, if you're not at the top of your mat, bring yourself to the top of your mat. Over these last year and a half or so, we've been bringing together these sun salutations, which is a beautiful way to move the body and breath. So let's do a few of those right now. Let's bring together all the knowledge which we're learning together. So take an inhale, sweep your arms up. As you exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Nice. Inhale, come up halfway. As you exhale, your hands are coming down and stepping one foot back, then the other. So then take an inhale, just lengthen into your plank. And then as you exhale, drop your knees, and then keep your elbows tucked by your body, lower with control, all the way to the floor. Nice. Press the tops of the feet to the floor. Take an inhale. Roll your shoulders back. Open your heart center. And then as you exhale, you'll lift your hips and come into down facing up. So you probably worked out that every movement has got a breath attached to it here. So deep inhales. Full exhales. Keeping the bend in the knees if needed. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Nice. Bend your knees into your hips. Look between your hands. And then gently step first your right and then your left to the top of your mat. Take an inhale to come up halfway. Take an exhale to fold in deep. Press into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up high, wide. Hands come all the way to heart center on an exhale. Beautiful, everyone. Let's do another one like that. Inhale up. Exhale, fold in deep. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, hands are coming down, gently stepping back. Take an inhale to lengthen here into your plank, press into the outer edges of the feet. As you exhale, drop the knees again, keep the elbows. So this is the most important thing. Keeping the elbows tucked in. And then the elbows come backwards, and you lower it all the way down onto the floor. Take an inhale, roll your shoulders back, and then exhale back into your downward facing dog. Beautiful. Nice. 2 breaths, deep inhale. Full exhale. Your deepest inhale. And your fullest exhale. Nice. Bend the knees into your hips, up between your hands, and then gently bring yourself all the way to the top of your mat. Take an inhale, come up halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold it deep. Press into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms high, wide. Exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Really nice. And then just pause here. Hands are at heart center. You're breathing super, super deep. Just checking in on you guys. Nice. Really beautiful work. All right. Let's carry that on. Let's just move on a little bit. So hands at heart center. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, folding deep. Inhale, lengthen, come up halfway. And then exhale, hands down, step back into your plank. And then from here, take an inhale, lengthen here into your plank. As you exhale, drop your knees. And then you can just sit back onto your heels. And then I'm just going to tell you where we're going to go next. So we're going to go into side plank, which can feel sometimes like more of an advanced posture because, you build quite a lot of strength coming into it. And the arms and the chest, they need that kind of activation. Sometimes you need a little bit of practice. I remember the first time I used to do side plank, I found it so difficult. So I'm going to show you some options. What we'll do is we'll start here in plank. We'll bring a hand into the center of the mat, and then you've got this option. So you can just stack the feet side by side. And then you can lift the top arm, or you can come here and you stack the feet on top. So this is probably the more advanced version. This is mid, and then this is a little bit easier when you drop the bottom knee. So you can be here. So I'll give you a choice, it's up to you. This one, or this one with the feet nice and wide, or this one with the feet on top. All right, I'm absolutely tired out doing that. So from this seated position, don't worry about it. If your arm wobbles, it's all good, you're going to be all right here. If it feels too much for you, drop down onto your mat and come to child's pose. We won't hold it for long. So we'll do left hand first, left side. So come into your plank, nice. Left hand into the center, spread out through your fingers, and then with a little bit of stability and ease, come into your side plank. Lift up through your arm. So top arm is lifted. You can always have it here. Think about the sides of your waist. You want this side of your waist and this side of your waist about the same length. So you don't want to drop the hips down, you don't want the hips to be too high. Nice. Take one more deep inhale. And then as you exhale, come all the way back down. Split your knees nice and wide. Pull your hips all the way back towards your heels. And then just come into your child's pose. Really nice work, everyone. And then just take a few breaths here in child's pose. Deep, rich inhales. Full, releasing exhales. Do one more like that. Deep inhale. Full exhale. And then one more. Deep inhale. And then a full exhale. Nice. And then pull yourself all the way back onto all fours. And then should we do the other side? I'm going to turn around so I don't have my back to you. So this time, on all fours, right hand in the center. Really find that spread through your hand. So your thumb and all your fingers are pressed down into the floor. Yeah, nice. So from here, hand down, and then roll onto. So this can be a really nice option where the feet are stacked. So you've still got a tremendous amount of work going through this arm. Doesn't need that you need to be really muscly or strong. This is more about engagement. I mean, look at my arms. They're not exactly the biggest in the world, are they? But strong enough to support me. So this comes with time, stability and ease. It's sthira and sukha, 2 Sanskrit words. Nice. Wherever you are, take one more deep inhale. And then a full release and exhale. Come all the way back down. Split your knees wide. Come back into child's pose. Breathe it out. Just let everything relax. Beautiful, really nice work. And then from here, pull yourself back to all fours, and then just come to a seated position. Really nice work. We're going to work into the wrist because that demands quite a lot in the wrist, doesn't it? You know, when we're in a lot of our balances, like that was a balance when we're in downward facing dog, when we're in plank, there's so much of that stuff going on. So let's do this. I'm going to come a little bit closer to you. So here I am, sat on my handy bolster. So bring the hands out, make fists, and keep the hands, you know, pretty much the same width apart and the same height. And then from here, just circle your wrists out. So nice big circles. Maybe start small, and then you can make them a little bit bigger. Oh, there's a bit of thunder going on outside. Come back the other way. Nice. And then just give the hands a bit of a shake out. Beautiful. Really nice. And then we'll do this one. So you bring the fingers out, you bring the fingers in, out and in. So you can just do this. Really simple. Go nice and fast. So you probably feel a bit of a burn in the forearms as you do this. Beautiful work. And then give the hands a bit of a shake. So try and do that sort of thing, you know, little bits of movement into the wrists, especially when you're starting your yoga practice, or if you feel like your wrists are getting a bit achy. Don't damage your wrists. They take real long time to repair. The only way to repair them is to kind of not to do the balances, is to move them around. So we try and stop that kind of thing happening where we're not pushing it too far. All right, nice work. If you're sat on something, release what you're sat on. And then we're just going to work a little bit. We should be nice and warmed up. And this next section, what we'll do in the class is just to move the spine around a little bit. So I've already done the cat and cow on all fours. So we'll do a kind of a version here where you bring the hands onto your front shin. And then if you can follow me with this move, you inhale, bring the chest forward, and then exhale around the spine. You see the hands stay where they are, not really using the hands so much. Inhale forward, exhale round. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And then just move in a nice steady rhythm that suits your body. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. So this is a spinal flex. So you're just bringing this nice steady rhythm into the body. It doesn't have to look a certain way. You think about rocking the pelvis forward, rocking the pelvis backwards. Inhale forward, exhale round. Nice, beautiful. So we're just concentrating on the spine just a little bit. If you want to make this movement much slower, feel free. You can do that. It doesn't have to be a certain speed. And then when you're ready, inhale, come all the way back to center. And then exhale, just let the breath go. So we did all these moves I think we've done a couple of spinal weeks where, when we hold all this tension in the lower spine. So these are really nice moves just to kind of like move the spine around. If you've got 5 minutes at the start of the day, do these. Do this one, well, that one, and do this one. So the left hand down, just by your hip, spread out through your fingers. Inhale the right arm here to the left. Exhale the left arm to the right. So that's your movement. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Nice. Keep that moving. Keep it moving. Inhale left, exhale right. This is a lateral stretch, so side to side. So we move the spine, but ultimately we're getting into the side ribs, using the breath to activate the body, to bring life into the body. Now it's nice and warmed up. Our twists and our sun salutations. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, Beautiful. Couple more times either side. I'm going to do 2 more from here. Top on, comes all the way down. Press your fingertips into the floor. Roll your shoulders back. Take a deep inhale. And a full exhale. One more like that. Deep inhale. And then a full exhale. Beautiful work. Nice. From here, I'm just going to turn to the side. You can stay where you are. Bring your feet so they're right underneath your hips. And then just bring your hands so they're positioned behind. Lift up, come into this kind of like reverse table shape, and then you can exhale, come all the way back down. Do that a couple of times. Maybe let the head drop if it feels okay. Come back down. One more like that. A little bit of intuitive movement, not think about it too much, and then coming all the way back down. Beautiful. Lengthen out through your legs. Press your hands down by your hips. Zip the legs up, and then think about lengthening your spine here. So try not to sit like this. Try and sit here. If you find that the hands, it doesn't work with the hands here, which it doesn't for some people, bring your hands onto your thighs. And then you can always bring a generous bend into the knees if it feels too much in your hamstrings. This is called Dandasana or staff pose. So a little bit of movement from here. We're going to move the spine here, the lower spine. So what I would suggest you do is put a bend in your knees, just a little one, or if you feel very tight, put a big one in. That's cool. And you're going to bring the arms out, and you're going to bring the thumbs out. So this movement doesn't have to be big. Don't strain here. You inhale forward, you exhale back. All right, just like that. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Lead with the thumbs. Inhale forward, exhale back. So a lot of the focus here is on the lower spine. So flexing the knees as you come backwards and forwards can really help this pose. Don't strain. Facing forward. Couple more times. Bring the hands back down, and then this time bend your knees in towards your chest. Just wrap your arms around your knees. Let your head just fall down towards your knees. And then just breathe super deeply here. Nice deep rich inhales. Full release and exhales. Then one more like that. Deep inhale. And a full exhale. And then very gently just lift your head. Unwrap your arms. And then you're still on your mat. I'm going to go down towards my mat now, and then come to lie down on your back. And when you lie down on your back, hug your knees in towards your chest. So we're here for the first time. Think about your spine. Remember right at the start of the class where we were doing that little movement before cat and cow. Think about your spine now. Do the same thing. Press your spine down into the floor. And then you might feel that natural curve just here in your lumbar spine. And then when you feel the curve, press your spine back down, and then you should feel the same activation as here. It's at your belly. So we think about the core as being the side, the front, and the back of the body. So we're trying to work all of those core muscle groups. Beautiful. Really nice. Bring your arms out nice and wide. Drop your feet nice and wide. So the feet are right on the edge of your mat. And then just drop both legs over to the right-hand side. So you might need to walk the feet in towards each other. And then you might just look down the left arm. Deep inhales, full exhales. One more like that, deep inhale, and a full exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, come all the way back to center. And then as you exhale to the other side, so feet, knees over to the left, and then just turn your gaze over to the right. Just final movements before we come into our final resting posture of Shavasana. Really fantastic work today. One more deep inhale. And then a full exhale. Inhale, come all the way back to center. Hug your knees back in towards your chest. Nice. And then bring your feet nice and wide. Bring your palms up. Let's spend like 2 or 3 minutes in Shavasana. Just beginning to rain here in the beautiful city of Leicester.
make any adjustments that feel good for you right now. Maybe wriggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe drop your chin down to either shoulder. And then eventually rest in your Shavasana. And then when you're ready, when you feel able and willing, no rush, just begin to bring some tiny little movements back into your body. Maybe start right at your fingertips and your toes. Maybe begin to circle the wrists, the ankles. Take an inhale, stretch your arms up as you exhale. Push your palms away. Maybe sigh out through the mouth. And then one final time, just hug your knees back in towards your belly. Give them a good squeeze. Maybe bring your forehead up towards your knees. And then just roll over to one side. And then very gently press yourself up to a seated position. I'm just going to come forward to see you guys just to finish this class off. Nice work, everyone. Really beautiful. All right, sit nice and tall. Bring your hands to heart center. Press your thumbs just into your sternum. Sit with that beautiful posture that we started the class with. Draw your attention inwards. Notice the effects of your practice. And just thank yourself for turning up and practicing some yoga today. Nourishing your heart, your soul. Take that light with you. Let it shine. With a wholehearted bow. Wishing yourself well, wishing everybody else well. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. It's really good to see you all again today. Let me just move this camera. Thank you for joining us here at the Space to Breathe Collective. And we'll see you all again next week. And we'll maybe look at a little bit more of some longer holds and look at more of the yin yoga style, which we sometimes look at because that's more restorative and calming, which is sometimes needed. You know, we don't always want to kind of like move around all the time. We want to sometimes find a really introspective practice, which can be very helpful. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. It's really lovely to see you all. And we'll see you again next week. Namaste. Goodbye.